Wow. Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another car review. This time we have the Porsche GT4. Finally, I get my hands on the Porsche GT4. Yeah, I'm a bit behind the pack in terms of getting a GT4. I've driven all the other similar cars to this in the segment, although it kind of stands in its own segment, I guess. But anything around that kind of 60, 70, 80,000 pounds kind of range, this obviously fits in, and it's a bit of a track weapon. Yeah, let me show you around it. Let me take you around the awesome country roads that we've got for you today. And yeah, just watch on. If you've got any questions, hit us up in the comment section. I'm just going to go and enjoy it. Look at it. Beautiful. Right, just cold start and then hot start. But let's have a little listen to the exhaust on this thing. Let's get the valves open first and foremost. Just there on a button. Hear it change. Sounds and looks gorgeous. How good does that sound? I'm sure you'll agree with me. Yeah, absolutely superb. Sounds amazing. Obviously it's got a soft limit, so we can't go past about 4,000 RPM. But yeah, unbelievable. Watch on and let's get some drive for you. I'm so excited. Wow. So the first thing I'm going to say and that I notice is actually low down, this car, it almost feels like it has a bit of lag, or it kind of feels like it needs to get going. So you need to kind of wake up the engine a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still relatively punchy, and there's definitely, when I press, just you'd probably see it lurching. The throttle, there's a lot of throttle response, but just it feels as though almost like there's cams on this car are so racy that it just needs to be woken up into the top of the rev range, and it definitely rings true. This car revs out to around 8,000 RPM, and low down I'm about 4,000 RPM now. 5, 6, 7. And once you get going and then you shift, it's that second shift. As soon as you stay in the power band over 6,000 RPM, this thing just flies. It feels like it's got more power than what it says it has. 414 brake horsepower, which, don't get me wrong, in a car that only weighs around 1,400 kilograms, is plenty of brake horsepower per ton. It's certainly got a good power to weight ratio, and it is damn quick in a straight line. But this car is all about the twisties. So yeah, obviously, like I say, this thing is all about the twisties. So let's give it a little push around the corners. There's just so much grip from these, I believe, Michelin Pilot Sport. Suspension is absolutely superb. We're going over some crests and some cambers. These roads are lovely, but the front and rear end on this car is next level. I live with an FK8, and I do mention it in a lot of my videos. I do apologise. The only reason why I do is because that car is one of those cars that's just next level. This is another one of those cars. This is the rear wheel drive version of that FK8. It sounds like I'm down talking the GT4. I'm not. That's a fantastic car. That's the best front wheel drive chassis on the planet. And this, especially for anything that's not £250,000 plus, probably also in Porsche guys, is got to be, well, not got to be, I'm telling you now, is the best car on the planet for this kind of money. Obviously, if I had a little bit more money, this is probably what I'd go for. It may be I say progression from an FK8. It probably would be, because I love my rear wheel drive cars. No fault of the FK8s, it's absolutely phenomenal. But this car, the feel and the feedback and the fun, that's maybe what is a little bit different. The FK8 you have to throw on a track and to have fun and really, really push it hard, which you're almost losing your license with. With this car, even low down, the car and the chassis gives you just such a feedback. But being rear wheel drive in a very well sorted rear wheel drive car, it just feels so much fun. Steering weight and feedback is absolutely superb, nice and weighty, just how I like it. I probably would like it a tiny bit heavier even, but in general it's really nice. It's got plenty of feedback, plenty of weight, and I like that. The gearbox is sublime. I mean near perfection sublime. It is so snickety and tight through the gears, through the gates. And that little auto blip is lovely. This chassis is just unbelievable. Oh, this car, sorry, I'm having a moment. This car is just absolutely next worldly. It is off the chart. It is just so good. It has such a good gearbox, plenty of power. In fact, probably the perfect amount of power and torque for a rear wheel drive chassis car, or a car full stop. I'm in all the most aggressive modes. I've got sports suspension on, I've got auto blip on, I've got the exhaust remote flaps open, and I've got traction control off. The whole time round these rows I'm hacking it around, and the traction control is off. Yeah, it's absolutely superb. And let's just have a little gap again, and let's give this car another little push. Let's feel what the suspension's like now. It's quite tight around these roads. It's just so good, guys. The suspension irons out all the lumps and the bumps. It's not over dampened. It responds to kind of high crests and cambers and brings the chassis back into check after going over them perfectly well, without being too harsh and without being too soft and comfortable, I guess. But you could easy daily this car, I can guarantee you that. Would you want to? I suppose it's not necessarily massively practical, but it could be a kind of semi-daily car, I suppose. Or if you don't have a family and you're a single man or a single woman, I would daily this. And the brakes definitely feel more motor sport based. The bite is really, really high, which I love, but they feel like they do need a little bit of heating in them, which I've now done. And then now, they brake really well. And this is just such an all-round package, because there's nothing it can't do really, really well. Price, let's talk about price. It doesn't really matter too much because you can't really get these. They're very hard to get hold of. They were circa 60 to 75,000 pound brand new when you spec them up. You can get them up to easy 80, 85 if you go crazy on them, but they're now exchanging hands for circa kind of 90 to 125 if you can get a hold of one. And you know what? I don't want to say rightly so, but it just is what it is, you know. Supply and demand. Ridiculously amazing car. I can understand people wanting to exchange, you know, big money for something like this, because if you have had the pleasure of driving one of these, you will know that it kind of is worthwhile, because this has one of those chassis that is more akin to something that is a quarter of a million pounds plus. So it's for me the perfect car. It's not too powerful, it really looks after you, it's massively fast and capable, and it's stunning inside and out. The interior is absolutely beautiful, and the exterior is just one of the prettiest, gorgeous cars I think money can buy. I really do. It's absolutely stunning and timeless. Let's push it on a little bit more. So yeah, let's talk about this engine a little bit more as well. 4 litres, naturally aspirated, 8,000 RPM red line. It is just sublime. It is a little screamer of an engine, and it definitely likes to live up at the higher realms of its RPM rev range. As soon as it hits around 6,000 up to 8,000, it's absolutely superb, and especially when you bang through the gear, you're probably going to second at the top of 8,000 RPM, you snatch third, and when it snatches third, it goes from 6,000 to 8,000 RPM, and it really does pull you and push you in the back of your seat, and it's absolutely superb. We've done all the lumps and bumps of a country road. Let's see what it's like on a motorway now. Just joining the carriageway. What a car, what a sound, what a machine. Nice. Nice. One thing that's quite interesting is I've just noticed the speedo. I'm just cruising on the motorway at like 70 mile an hour, and I'm like near enough, not even halfway through the speedo range, and it goes up to 200 miles an hour. There's no surprise, this does pull, so I wouldn't be surprised if you had a autobahn that would be nudging close to that. It's just insane. And I also love these interior catches. It's got like motorsport derived little like cloth open door handles, which I just think is just hilariously bonkers and amazing. And it just kind of makes you realise that you are in something very motorsport based, hence GT4 and the name. It's just awesome. It's just the real happy balance of motorsport, pure, focused, race-like performance in a comfortable, everyday driving machine. It's just superb, and Porsche have done such a good job. Yeah, awesome. And for the purpose of handling, before we go back to the track, let's just take it around this roundabout. Such a good chassis. What a machine. What a machine. So yeah, to be honest with you, I know it's a short, small review, but there really isn't nothing left to say. This car in Summarisation is just near perfection. If you're in the market for a rear-wheel drive car, well, go test drive one. I'm sure, unless you've got something absolutely wrong with your brain, you will know that this is one of the most amazing, complete, accomplished cars ever created by any person ever. It's just absolutely unreal. I wish I was taking this home. I wish I was driving it all day. It's just phenomenal. It's just absolutely phenomenal, guys. Yeah, I'm going to sign out there. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.